recorded the clap. I don't know.
Okay, welcome to Working Group Apply. We are Tuesday, November 26, 2019. Okay, let's get started. So what are we doing? We're trying to reduce the number of allocations performed when tracking field ownership. I think that's a very accurate description of what we're doing. Daniel and I, we ran this, hey Daniel, we ran this experiment. We tried to run the 100 node cluster and we noticed that the performance is not good. So we used the profiling. Oh yeah, because it generates profiles. So we looked at the profiles and it's pretty obvious that the problem is converting objects.
To be clear, we didn't really figure that out from the profile. We figured it out by tweaking various things and seeing what matched the performance.
Yeah, but then the profile did sort of obvious.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the profile didn't give us a smoking gun just sort of hinted at the garbage collector, like, yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
The profile doesn't look obviously CPU bound or anything like
well,
that.
Well, memory bound,
maybe.
Yeah, it shows a lot of allocation.
But the smoking gun was we did a run, or well, Antoine did all the work, but Antoine did a run that didn't run that ran the server side of code but didn't save it, and we also did another run that made up some random data and did save that, but didn't run the server side apply code. And from those from the behaviors of those we deduced that it is the running the server side code and not the saving it that reproduce the performance profile.
Neither is perfect, but yes, the biggest impact is definitely running the code rather than save. I think saving is still having some impact.
Yeah, I mean, we should fix the biggest
always
first.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We'll reevaluate after that, of course. Yeah, we still have the thing that Jenny has started on, and we have a big cap on if we need to work on the serialization.
Yeah.
Data size.
So what we're doing is that we're trying to reduce the number of allocations by removing the conversions, because we do one conversion to go from built-in type to unstructured, and then we convert the unstructured into a value. So that's two conversions, and we're trying to build an interface so that one can look at the built-in type without any conversion. And we're hoping that's going to decrease the number of allocations.
I mean, your change is already down quite a bit. So
yeah.
Very promising.
Yeah, we have significant improvements already. So we're working on that. I'm working specifically on creating the interface. Jenny and Joe maybe are working on implementing the interface from the built-in perspective.
Yeah. So one thing that's not clear to me, if we get the performance acceptable, but the size is still large, what does that mean for objects that are already pushing the size limits, that are close to the size limits?
Yeah, we
have to figure out.
We should worry about that.
We should, if we think we're not going to focus on crunching the size, like if a 10% growth, like maybe, I don't know, we still probably would need to figure out, but we're especially in terms of proto, we're closer to 2x the object size.
Yeah.
Because it stores the field names mostly.
Yes.
So
yes, there's the gzip option, but
I mean that reduces the number of objects that would be problematic, but it doesn't make it work on all objects.
Yeah, right? Like I mean, it's never going to work on all objects.
Yeah. That's my point. Is we need to figure out what to do on objects that it doesn't work on.
Yes, that's a good point.
Where this is the thing that causes it to exceed the size limit.
Yes.
Because I know for a fact that people run, if you make services backed by thousands of pods, you can get endpoints objects that are like over the size limit. Like people have had that problem. So I'm sure there are some that are like just barely under the size limit. That's the one I'm mostly worried about. I don't think maybe some CRDs are.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty big CRDs, but I don't know how many people are actually doing that.
Be the straw that breaks the camel's back there.
And CRDs also can be applied with client-side apply, which means they must be huge because it has the entire value.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, so endpoints are not typically something you would apply. So
right, but CRDs.
So CRDs, maybe we don't have a problem there.
I saw a PR with something about using reflect in structured merge. Is it related to what you're doing?
Yeah, that's Jenny and Joe have been tag teaming. I think Joe's out this week. So Jenny was taking over. Yeah, it's basically implement the interface with the reflect so that it works in arbitrary objects. And depending on how that goes, we may have to follow it up with generating things for the built-in objects. I hope we don't have to go there, but maybe we will. I think we should be okay with the reflect-based interface. Like, I think it should still be a drastic improvement over actually copying everything.
Yeah.
Especially if we are careful with our memory management, like we're having to be anyway. So.
I want to switch gear for just 1 minute. This is the beginning of the cycle mostly, and we have Daniel, so that's kind of interesting. We have kubectl diff and dry run, which are both beta, and we were wondering mid-cycle, last cycle, if we wanted to make these GA.
Yeah, things have to progress to GA.
Yes, and I mean, to be honest, nothing has changed since they became GA beta. So,
is there anything that needs to change?
I don't think so.
Then we can just promote it.
If
nobody's complaining or anything.
Maybe we could add an option in the client Go function to make it easier. Document. On kubectl, there is only the server-side dry run option for apply, not for any other verb.
Okay, so there's some more things that could be done.
That could be done. The question is, do we actually want to do that or not? What is the best way to? Should we ask that during the SIG API 6 CLI meeting, maybe?
I mean, does that? Are you talking? Yeah.
Are those 3 required for GA? Because they seem like it's just adding stuff that doesn't break anything. How is the policy there?
Yeah, that seems like additional features that. I guess the question is: are you talking about the user experience as a whole, or are you talking about the API server feature? If you're talking about the API server feature, then yeah, just stamp the GA and you're done. If you're talking about the user experience as a whole, that does sound kind of useful.
I suspect it's the entire thing.
Okay. Okay, then I guess that's your answer.
Okay, so we have to do this. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, if you want to call the user experience GA.
Diff has nothing to be done.
Okay, then let's just.
But it depends on dry run, so okay. Yeah. So let's try and let's make this a goal for these ladies to make dry run and kubectl diff as a GA.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to work on that. Maybe we can find someone you can.
Yeah.
Help them find what to do.
I mean, again, there is not much anyway.
Yeah, those sound pretty.
I don't know if we want to do that.
Dry run support in client Go. I think we are we sure it's not like some of the functions take options?
All of them now.
Yeah. So are you sure the options structs don't already have a dry run?
They do.
They do.
The question was, should we provide a better way?
Oh.
To create the option or like to?
No.
Okay.
I think it's fine. Now, something I do think we want is a client Go way to call server-side apply.
Oh yeah. That's a different one. You're the one that scratched it. Okay, good. So we just probably need to have the flag dry run in kubectl. It's fairly mechanic, so it's a good starter task.
Yeah. I was just talking to someone yesterday who was looking for a starter task.
I think one problem is there's already a dry run flag.
Okay, yeah, so the way we dealt with that in for apply is that we have the dry run flag and we have the -- server dry run, which is far from pretty.
I mean, if dry run is going GA, like, what does the client dry run do?
It does what it can on the client, which is not much.
It sounds useless to me, so maybe we can just make it do the right thing, which is
so this is not going to be easy because a lot of people do kubectl create. You know how create has these flags to populate the object, and they do a dry run, and it shows only the fields that they want. if you do a server-side dry run, it's going to default everything, which is probably not what people want. Because people do a kubectl create directly into their YAML file that they're going to commit.
People use kubectl create to produce a YAML file.
Yeah, a base template YAML file.
Or like kubectl create config map.
Dry run to
Dry
mean
run.
To mean, do not create it, just create the file.
That's almost as bad as Git's command line interface.
I
Check out to create a branch. Dry run to create a template YAML.
I don't disagree with that. The problem is it's a thing now.
It is difficult to change.
Yeah, and when I mentioned like, okay, then maybe we should not do that anymore, people are like, no, but people like it.
Can we do something like, well, we don't have to figure it out here, but can we do something like give the new behavior and also print out a message, like if you're looking for the old behavior, use
Client dry run.
No, use client create create template or
Oh yeah, completely.
local create generate template. I don't know, what would you call that operation?
Yeah, it's a big change. Okay, we can
creation.
Yeah, also the current client side doesn't have the problem, which is one point below, that you can only do it with write access. So you can do some stuff on the client side, which you wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
I mean, you could always attempt the server-side dry run and output both, and or fall back to the client-side dry run if you don't have if you get like a permissions error or something.
Oh no, server.
Yeah.
That's not. I'm not a big fan. We can talk about that. I'll take that to the 6CLI meeting.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
But I think in the meantime, it wouldn't hurt to at least add the option everywhere.
Yeah, maybe
then we can rename the
maybe
option.
server dry run isn't such a bad.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Maybe it's not such a bad name. I think if we were writing it from scratch, we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't do that. But
no, yeah.
Maybe if that's not controversial and other things are, then just.
We could also have done -- dry run equals server equals client, the default being client, and change maybe the default at some point.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it like this, but okay, I'll open an issue for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We can switch back to server-side apply. Okay. Next, we have the reduction of the serialized size. We are not focusing on that right now because we have.
Yeah, we want to fix the allocation problem first.
Better trees to back up. Declarative manager.
Yeah, I updated the cap with the map string section. So if you have time, look at it. And
okay.
I haven't because I was super busy, but it's.
Let me take a note that that's ready for another pass.
Yeah, the issue is long.
Okay, so you made this change. Okay. You probably have some typo in there.
It's asking for stuff I haven't. I think it's new, some new requirement because I didn't.
This is usually complaining about typos and stuff.
Yeah, no, the typo one is okay. It's
oh no, missing opening tag. Yeah, you need to update the table of content.
The talk.
There must be a update tag stage.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that's minor. Okay.
Okay, I took a note that it's ready for another review.
Union.
I wasn't really sure. So I wrote in what I thought we discussed and what I saw fit best. But if there's some points missing, please comment, as I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm like never 100% sure. So
unions, immutability. I'm pretty sure immutability is gonna make it this time because we missed it by not much last time.
but it's gonna. Are we gonna actually implement it in Apply or just CRDs?
No. Does it matter?
I mean, it'd be great if it worked everywhere.
I agree with that.
Doing it in Apply might mean breakings. Well, no, built-in types don't actually use the tags yet.
No, yeah.
Okay, so we could do it in Apply.
But we have the requirement of the scalability thing because unless it's enabled everywhere, it makes no sense.
Yes.
Union is the same.
I guess that's true. But if the tag isn't used anywhere, then yeah, let's get our scalability story figured out and then worry about this.
Yeah, so
I'd rather like put all of our effort behind getting it actually on universally.
Okay. This is going to enable so many things that we should care about that now.
Yeah.
What have I done?
You just deleted.
If there's something where I can help with scalability, I'm happy to do it because it's blocking a lot. So I'm not sure if I can, but if there's something.
This UI is terrible. Let me think about it. I'll try and find something for you, Kevin.
Yep.
Documentation. Okay, so we have a ton of things to fix in the documentation. Josh probably could do something on this. But most of these are like inside one of the big issue that Maria has. That's kind of messy. We have another umbrella issue, which is about all the things that we want to do in KubeBuilder for the new types, the list type, struct type, map type, all of these. And so Maria is kind of looking into this area. I suggested Josh to talk to Maria because she has a lot of work with this. And it's lots of small tasks, so they're easy to split.
What about the changes to the admission stack and webhooks and sub-resources? We had that meeting at API Machinery SIG, and we wrote it up in the API Machinery notes, but did anybody?
Wait, say it again. What is it?
We had the whole discussion about like the scale sub-resource.
Oh yeah. And then you did something about this, Kevin, and then we realized it's super hard.
Yes.
Yeah, I did field ownership, status wiping.
Yes.
Status wiping, yeah. I mean, we basically wrote up the design in the API Machinery notes, but I don't know if anybody has taken that and started to act on it.
Oh, that's a good point. We definitely have it somewhere.
Is that required for global enabling?
It's a bug.
Yeah.
It's definitely a bug. It'd be nice if we could fix it.
Well, let's.
It's the problem we have with this task is that it's very hard.
Yes.
And I can't remember why you got stuck, Kevin.
Well, we didn't realize it was hard when
we discussed something in the last meeting and or in the meeting before, and opted for doing the whole object to internal and then doing a field set and checking if fields changed. So resetting and checking. And then Daniel suggested something new before KubeCon.
Oh yeah.
We discussed it shortly in Slack, but I wasn't sure which way to go now, and I wanted to discuss it before I start.
Okay, we can discuss. Do you want to keep working on that, Kevin?
Sure, it's I've spent quite some time on it. I wouldn't mind finishing it.
I think the last thing that Daniel suggested was having a field set per version of fields that we want to wipe.
Oh yes.
In the strategy.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the strategy. Yeah.
And then this is given to the handler, and then the handler can just wipe.
Yes.
As required.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems not too hard. You already have a cap, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can move the things you have in the cap into the alternative or like into some sort of history and replace it with that.
Mhm.
Do we need a whole cap? Oh, it's adding to the apply cap.
Yeah.
Okay.
The strategy we have with the apply cap, which was very small because we just made it a few lines long, is now every time we make a change to apply, we update the cap first and then so that the cap gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
So adding this, I think you call it locked fields for version to a strategy, and having version specific parts in there isn't an issue.
I mean, I don't see how else to do it.
Yeah.
We have one handler per version, right?
We install the handler per version, but
Right.
we have one strategy per kind.
Yeah, no, I agree. So from the strategy, you're going to get multiple field sets. And
Yes,
then when
the strategy
you
has to be able to
install the handler, you should pass just the field set that corresponds to this version.
Yeah.
And GVK. And then you just have the field set and you do the reset. And for the status sub-resource, you're going to have a different field set.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, and that's a different problem than the...
Yeah, well, no, that's okay because the status, the sub-resources get their own strategy. So you can get a different set of fields in the sub-resource.
Yes, yeah. No, that's perfect. Okay, that's great.
And
So let's
do
do that.
sub-resources have their own handlers?
Yeah, their own strategies.
Yeah, okay.
And we instantiate a new handler.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that. And one thing I saw is, or I already used is, from storage, you can only get like get create strategy, get update strategy, create update strategy. Is it safe to use one? Because when installing the handler, you cannot know, or there's no way to find out which strategy to use. So they all are the same, but is it safe to use one of them?
I don't know, we have the update handler and the create handler anywhere. So you should use the strategy for create and the strategy for update when
I mean, there's one, it's usually
So when
one object.
the field manager is created, it does not know if it's in a creator or an update handler, because in the installer, that information is not available yet.
Okay. The wiring is very hard to do without looking at the code. So we should
say that one more time.
When the field manager is being created in installer Go, it does not know yet in which handler it's being used.
Why is that important? Because the fields that you clear should be the same in both create and update handlers.
Yeah, but to get the strategy from storage, you have to use either get create strategy or get update strategy.
Potentially you have different strategies.
Yeah.
My question is can they be different? I don't think so, but is it safe to use one of them?
We can do something like
or do a new interface.
So where all the strategy interfaces are defined, we could add a new interface like field clear info strategy or something like that, and then you see if it shouldn't matter which handler which strategy you get. You test it to see if it can be the other interface, and then you use that. And then it's the caller's responsibility to make sure that both objects give you the same function. And in fact, that's how it would work by default for all of the existing ones, since they reuse the same object for both. Right. So the reason why there's separate create and update strategies, the idea is you write one strategy object and then you implement the corresponding methods. And if you implement something if you implement the create interface, then we give you a post verb. If you implement the update interface, then we give you a put verb, right? So it's the same object either way. I believe you can only put one strategy into the system. Like you can only register yourself with one thing, and then we use the things that method, or the methods that support, tells us which verbs you should be installed with, right? So
I saw that, yeah. So currently we use generic storage, which offers those, which is the interface for get, create, get, update and stuff.
Mhm.
And adding a new interface. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll look at it. That could work.
Yeah. Again, we can set up a meeting if you want us, Jenny and I, to look at it with you and look at the wiring like we did the other day. I think this was super useful.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a fix for that. The other issue that I'm always confused with is the replica on the scale sub-resource. And I think we have, I can't remember what we decided on this one.
That one got into how we're going to call the webhooks and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, we don't have much time, and I would like to talk about what Julian is doing.
Okay.
I can catch up on the scale on the API machinery notes for scale.
Yeah, that's very hard. But if you can,
Okay, never mind.
No, but if you want to look at the notes and
I mean, it's just a bunch of plumbing, right? To like collect all thread all the webhook information from both main and sub resource, and yeah, it's hard plumbing, but it is plumbing.
Do you want to tell us about what you've been doing on the kubectl compatibility?
So I converted Jenny's doc for upgrading the client-side apply annotation to server-side. So I think I'm blocked there for now, or I'll wait for comments.
Yeah.
So I can look into something else.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can look at the notes from the API machinery meeting. And I think I'd love Daniel to look at the cap that you updated or wrote. I'll also look at it. I'm going to add a task here.
Yeah, tag me in it, and probably chat it at me on Slack or something.
Sure.
What did you ping me on the cap?
Yeah, I did. It's in a old thread, but it updates the upgrade strategy section of the cap.
Oh, that is. Is it this one? I'm doing too many faces. Okay, I can't find it right now. I'll update. Okay, thanks, Julian. I think we're running out of time. Thank you for coming. We'll look at the caps. We have 2 caps to review and a few other things to do. Let's get to it. Thank you.
Bye.